guess what I'm doing right now, or what this is? This is all part of the whole whiskey distilling process. I'm gonna give it a try at Tuesday, and I don't know how this has turned into whiskey. All I know is, what do I taste it? Can I get a taste?
Well, let's do some more stuff, and then you get a sip.
Okay. So this is the vat that you boil the corn in to get the sugar water, to get it all going here. And once it's empty, you gotta clean it?
Yeah.
All I know is a little bit parched. It's looking pretty tasty over there, Noel.
Well, you didn't clean it yet, though.
This corn comes in 50-pound bags, and this is what goes into making bourbon. 50 pounds worth?
Yeah, it's actually about 1,000.
1,000?
And we don't have to move them one at a time.
You have Dolly. Can I get a sip of that bourbon now? Well, so the question is, how does this liquid gold become what it is in the bottle? And Noel Burns is the man behind the legend here. So, bourbon, how is it made?
Well, it's bourbon is a specific type of whiskey, and for what we do, we process all of the ingredients here and take it from start to finish. So,
and this is the same thing, right?
Yes. So this is what I say, bourbon in the raw. So that is your raw grains. It's about the proportions that they are, and we put a little magic into it, and it turns brown into the other bottle. So we start with the grains. You know, whether it's the corn, the barley, the wheat, we take that. We go through just a basic cooking process to be able to turn that. We grind it up. We have it, you know, about the consistency of our mill here. We go through the cooking process, and that gets it into what is functionally a sugar water.
So if Grandma had this, she'd make cornbread. You're making whiskey.
Exactly. Once it hits the fermentation process, and so this is on the latter days of the fermentation. You can still see it bubbling a little bit.
And you can smell it too.
Absolutely.
And that's the yeast basically you're smelling.
That's the yeast activating into the alcohol, releasing carbon dioxide.
So what's the process for that then to end up looking like this?
Well, once we remove the solids, then we put it into a still. So this is our original test batch still here. And so the whole process of distillation is we put the liquid in the base, we boil it, and the boiling of the separation between the alcohol and the water. Alcohol boils at a lower temperature, and so the alcoholic gas comes up the column here, and then we have a condenser on the other side, and that's what turns it back into a liquid and concentrates the alcohol. Once we get it to the flavor profile that we're looking for, then we put it into a barrel such as one of these right here.
So it ages in the barrel, and what makes it bourbon? There's some distinct rules about what is bourbon.
51% corn, distinct product of the U.S., distilled less than 160 proof. It's typically multi-grain, and then it's aged in a new white oak American barrel.
So every time you age this, it's a brand new barrel.
Every time. So we're trying to get much more rich flavors. We like to leave a little sweetness in there, and so the sugar that we're leaving in there obviously leaves it a little richer on the flavor profile. We're using human hands. We're doing very selective on the grains that we're choosing. We're doing the equipment is set up very specific ways. We're a smaller volume operation, so if they're looking for a craft product, then that's really where we are in the market.
Alamo Distilling Company, vodka, rum, whiskey, and of course the star of the show, the Alamo Bourbon, aged in white oak barrels for 6 months. Ooh, worth the wait. Thank you, sir.